What's up? How we doing? How's everybody doing today? Welcome back to the Doodle stream. I know it's been a couple weeks because I wasn't available last Friday. But welcome in. Nice to see you. Hello, Kristen. Nice to see you. Hawkeye Legoman, thank you for that tier 1 sub on a 3-month streak. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. How you guys doing? A little two-faced today? A little bit. Our theme today is DC, the wonderful universe of DC Comics. So we did Marvel. We did more Marvel characters was our theme 2 weeks ago. And I was like, well, we need to do DC next. Today is that day. Today is the day. This was a little warm-up I was doing. So ironically, I've been drawing all day. It has been an intense day of drawing. Trying to get a book done, you know what I'm saying? Very good. Very, very good. Very productive. And I was like, oh man, I should be ready to roll for today's stream. And I started drawing Clayface from Batman. And I was like, my brain was totally in a polishing mode. Not like a loose sketch mode. It was very like jarring. And I was like, no, that's not the point of doodles. So we'll see. We'll see if I can like loosen up enough. Because it's been very intense. In the best way. The best stuff. So, but yes, very nice to see you all. Thank you for spending a little of your time this Friday afternoon / evening with me. I appreciate it. We're almost at the end of the year, which is a little wild. This year has been insane for me. I don't know if it's been insane for you, but this year has both felt like 1 year and 10 years all in one. There has been an insane amount of stuff that has happened. I've been taking a little bit of reflection, but not like a proper one, because I haven't gone in to see like how many commissions did I do this year, how many, like I've just like took a very top line look at what happened, and I'm like, holy smokes, this year has been insane. Two-Face has been my favorite DC villain. Nice. It's awesome, Hawk. I like it, man. So if you're unfamiliar with how this works, this is the Doodle stream. I draw stuff based on your suggestions from the chat. I have a suggestion box. ! Suggestion. I hate that when that happens. When I open up the suggestion box and it's playing the stream. Please stop. So yeah, there's a suggestion box, and you are more than welcome to toss some ideas in there. The only thing I ask is that it is related to DC Comics. Doesn't necessarily have to be a hero. Doesn't have to be a villain. It could be really anything. So you are my guest to throw stuff in there. And you know what? I'm going to start with this Sinestro from Boba Laveau. And the reason we're going to do this is I've drawn Sinestro before, and I was not happy with it. Was not happy. It was a long time ago. It was actually during our Yellow episode. Years ago. This was years ago when this happened. I was not very pleased. It wasn't bad, it just wasn't that great. Just wasn't that great, you know? And as I've always said, I don't mind drawing it again if I can do a better job. So I'm looking through some reference images here to see what I want to do. I think I want to do this based off a comic. I think I'm going to go for a comic style. I guess this one... Can I make this one larger? I hate that. I can't stand that. Can't stand that. You click on the image and it takes you somewhere completely. It's like, I wanted the image. That's why I clicked on the image. That is why I clicked on the image. So we're going to draw Sinestro. If you have any ideas or suggestions, feel free to toss them in the chat. If you have anything you'd like to talk about, any questions you want to ask me, as always, that's why I'm here. That's why we're live. Otherwise, I just draw by myself. You know what I'm saying? And I do a lot of that. How's everybody's Friday going? Titanium J52 says, greetings. What's up, buddy? Nice to see you again. We're doing DC this week. I'm pretty sure you were there, Jay, for Marvel 2 weeks ago. Couldn't do a stream last week. I was busy on Friday doing Scouts. So we had a Cub Scouts thing to do. It was kind of like part meeting, part goodbye party. So one of the other kids in the pack is...
Hi, Kevin.
What's up, Ray? How we doing? One of the other kids was leaving, so they were doing a goodbye party for him. So it was a much more involved than a normal Cub Scouting thing. Because normally our meetings are like an hour and a half at most, unless we go like a camp trip or something. And that was a multi-hour event. We got home at like 10:30. But there was, you know, cake, pizza, goodbyes. Kind of sad. That kid's been with the troop since my son joined the troop. Joined at the same time, so they've been part of it for many years together. And he's moving away. As you do. As what happens. Hawkeye Lego Man says, I paid for 2 artist booths for this coming year's Muscacon. I think I'm saying that right. One more than the first times. I need more space to spread. I didn't spend more on prints yet. So you went for 2 tables, man. Wow. That's impressive, man. I am right now. I am currently debating whether or not it's time for me to spread to two tables, and that's after me aggressively doing this for 2 years and having 122 different stickers, 3-inch stickers, 85 2-inch stickers, 15 large prints, 10 small prints, 2 books. Like, that's pretty amazing, man. I hope you got stuff to fill those tables with. It's kind of like driving me crazy now with some of these shows because I have so much stuff that I'm like, really? I can't fill the table? Or I mean, I can't, I don't have any space to spread out at all. Like, I can't work on the table anymore. I used to be able to do that. Can't do that anymore. Like, absolutely can't do that anymore. Like, if I got commissions and stuff, I would sit there and work on it. That is no longer an option. If I get commissions, which I always hope I do, because that's where the money is, I have to, like, either work on the table I set up behind me. I have, like, a small table I set up. Or I gotta makeshift something. And I've definitely done some makeshift tables. I'm trying to do my patent pending mirror cheat. Just draw half the face. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. But that's awesome, Hawkeye Lego Man. Congrats. Going from 1 to 2 table is a huge step, man. It's a huge step. There are plenty of people that don't ever do that. Okay, will it work? Will it work? Yeah, it doesn't work if it's two-faced. That's 100% correct. Let's probably off a little bit, and that's okay. Because then I can erase. Let's see. Let's turn this down so I can see what I need to erase. Okay. I think that's okay enough to fuse it and then do some correction here. Some correcting. I think I'm gonna have to squeeze the head as well, because you know he's pretty thin. We definitely have more. Yeah, I know, Ray. More. What was I gonna say? More shadows on the left side of the head. How's work going, Ray? How's the airline industry? How's the rich people airline industry? Busy as always. I'm considering applying to a sign shop. Oh. Hawkeye Lego Man says it's only a 15-minute drive, so it's not too much of a loss with gas. I have loads of fuzz bones that I felt like people were limited to only the top fuzz bones on my stacks. These are 11 by 17s we're talking about. I'm considering getting a smaller size option mix. Good for you, man. Props. Props. Yeah, like I said, I'm just now considering going to 2 tables. I really don't want to. I really don't want to. The cost for, I mean, I don't know about your show, but for me, it is a pretty substantial bump in cost. I mean, it's double everywhere. So it's like, you know, $300, $400 table. Now it's a $600, $700, $800 table. And it's like, I don't make that much money. You know? I don't make that much money. What's up, B-Habs? How we doing? Howie stuff. What's up, Howie? Symmetrical indeed. It's my cheat method with faces and stuff. Although I'll try to do it as much as I can with like everything. If I can find a shortcut, I'm gonna do it. I work smarter, not harder. Most of the time. What is the benefit of 2 tables for you? Your stuff is pretty tiny and easy to fit in one booth. Are you talking about me? So, I can't, well, I mean, I could. I can't really go higher, Ray. I mean, I guess I could. So I have been pretty, cognizant of the 8-foot rule, and I don't know why. I think it's because Fan Expo Boston was like insanely on top of it, like to the point of walking around every day with a tape measure. Every day, not once when you set up, every day, around the Artist Alley floor and using a tape measure and actively telling people, including my neighbor, to lower their stuff. But that really hasn't been a thing anywhere else. It's really just at Fan Expo Boston. It's the only place I've seen it happen. Although, in the, like, terms and conditions, like every show says it. Every show says 8 foot is the limit, but they're the only ones that enforced it. Funny figs, I didn't even know Hawkeye Leg Man was selling merch. BF says, we are doing. How's everyone? Hawkeye, I figured if I don't spend much / more on product, I can add this year and last year's earnings together. Nick Lanza's here. Just tell them you'll get around to. Do they yell at you, man? Have you had any other, as another, how are you, by the way, as another active con goer, are there any other shows that you can think of that they're like crazy about enforcing that? Like Boston's the only place that so far has been like literally walking around with a tape measure. But so I was saying that like I'm kind of like tapped out for height if I don't want to continue to go up. And I'm going to keep making more stickers. And I'm going to keep, you know what I'm saying? Like the surface area of my table is full. Hawkins has got to sell them fuzz bones. Ray says, yeah, I knew you were working on those. Just didn't know how they'd make the jump to physical goods. Nice work. I am well. Hope you're splendid. Thanks, man. Also, I've literally never seen an event care about height. BF says active con goer. It sounded worse than you meant it. Active con goer. Boston, no. But Kineticon, both years I've done it, they've told me to. Really? Interesting. Are you part of Hinkle's 11? Nice. Is that my new group? It's my new tag team. We're doing DC Comics today. Any character from the DC Comics universe. So if you have a suggestion, feel free to toss it in the suggestion box. Working on Sinestro right now for Boba Laveau. Trying to do a better job than I did last time I drew Sinestro, which was a very long time ago. It was a very long time ago the last time I drew Sinestro.
Oh, Jesus! Oh, God! Oh, Jesus! God! Oh, Mary, Mother of Jesus! Jesus of Nazareth!
Ocean's 11.
I think I've improved on your methods a bit, too. I employed some chiaroscuro shading and...
I'll improve on your methods!
What?
It's that high-pitched what? You know what I'm saying? What? That's it. That's where it's at. I don't really want to draw like all of him. I just want to imply, you know. I don't really want to go over it. Con going, I give up. I'll join the 11. I mean, if you're trying to make a specific reference to that film, I saw it. It was a fine movie. I couldn't quote you anything from that film at all. Any line at all, period, from that movie. It was fine. I enjoyed it, but it was not, it's not like a quotable thing for me. And then when I see the next, I did really enjoy it. And then, isn't there like 3 or 4 more? And I'm like, okay, this franchise is literally copying, pasting. It's like, no, I'm good. I got over it pretty quick. No, just like they are con artists. And as the artist, you said con goer. I did. This is true. I did say that. I'll accept it. I'll accept that. So let's see. What are some other huge things going on? Hey, Grasslands is actually almost done. I know you think I'm lying, but this is crunch month. I have been working like practically every single day on finishing up Grasslands this month. Autocracy has opened up pre-orders, so if you did not back the campaign on Kickstarter and you want to get it right at launch, you have an opportunity to do that now. That is how confident we are that it's about to be out. Pre-orders are on there. I should probably set up a command, shouldn't I? I'm kind of like, I'll be honest with you, I'm kind of in like coast mode to the end of the year. I'm so tired. I'm so done. I'm so cooked. I'm like, I just want to like coast through the rest of the year. Is that so wrong? I do like the movies though. That's fine. That's awesome. Almost. What's up, timid creator? How we doing? Hawkeye says, thanks, Funny Figs. Stickers and posters so far, they catch many eyes at the place I get the stickers printed. Come to find out, the Staples store I got the posters printed at will be closing beginning of next year. Races, if you're using Staples, you're getting destroyed on print costs. Find yourself a real print shop. I would back that. Kristen says, patiently waiting for the book. Yes. Yes. When you get it, you'll see. when you guys that backed it, when you get it, you'll see. You're like, oh, this is why this took a year. Now, the year has not been like aggressively working on it like I've been aggressively working on it. There was 3 times this year. That I aggressively worked on it like for an entire month. But other than that, it's kind of been here and there around everything else going on. Which sometimes there's not a lot of time. Like October, I couldn't touch it. I did not touch it in October at all. I was way too busy with 3 or 4 shows, Hinktober every day. Like I just couldn't touch it. Didn't get touched at all in October. But you know. No, are you done with events? I'm so close. I'm so close, Nick. I'm so close. I have 2 more. I have 1 tomorrow. I have an event tomorrow. It's a craft fair. It is in North Haven, Connecticut. I need to see where that is. I don't even know. I haven't even checked the map to see how far away that is to me. It could be 40 minutes. It could be an hour. It could be half an hour. It could be. I don't know. I need to look. That's on my thing to do after stream today is get the stuff loaded. And then I've got 1 more PTO fair next Friday. Let's see. Races. Last I checked, you had over 100 spreads. It's been 3 or so weeks since then, so I'm guessing you've got 20. Yeah, it's been a grind, man. You know, you've done this before. But I've been like all day, man. All day, every day. All day, every day. We're getting it done. I'm like, no more of this. I can't keep. I gotta get it off my plate. I gotta get it off my plate. This one's taking a little bit longer.
Hi, Kevin.
Timid Creators is doing good. Pandy, what's up, Pandy? Hawkeye says, I more or less made out last time at Staples by having them reprint my order. All the existing Fuzzbones times 2 at the time. I kept both old and new. 4 of each.
Wow. You did these? Freehand?
Yep.
I did.
I'm really proud of you.
Hey, thanks. Ray says, I've never in my life done hundreds of fully rendered illustrations in a month. My guy, that's all you had. Well, Ray, you know, we were talking about earlier before you popped in, me looking at the year and being like, holy smokes, everything I've done this year has been insane. I mean, legitimately insane. I'm not trying to sound full of myself. It's just like, of course, that's also why I'm like teetering on absolute burnout right now. Is it's like the number of things, and I still haven't like actually gone in and taken account of like how many exact commissions did I do this year? How many, like, yeah, I did some like overall numbers. Like, you know, like the post I did on social. It's like, hey, I've done a lot this year. Here's some things, but it's like, that's still not counting. Like, I didn't count how many doodles I did, and I didn't count, you know, all that kind of stuff. Pandy says, I am good. How are you all? We are lovely. Do you have a break from events after the... Yeah, I know, man, I'm like, I'm dead. I'm dead. So dead. So right now, as of this exact moment, I have 2 shows paid for and booked. That's it. I will absolutely not do the 30 again next year. Can't do it. Can't do it. I'm not one of these youngsters. Can't do it. I don't know what the number will be, but it won't be that. But so yeah, I've paid for Fan Expo Boston and Kineticon, I think. Those are the only two. All right, I think that's definitely better than my last Sinestro. Definitely better than my last Sinestro. Thank you for that suggestion, a Bubble of O, wherever in the universe you are. Put you over there next to Two-Face. I'm going to go dive back into the suggestion box. If you have a suggestion for me, don't forget to toss it in the suggestion box. Oh, I need to mark Sinestro as done. I'll mark that as complete. Nick Lanza says, the shark guy from Suicide Squad already did it, buddy. We're marking that as completed. That one was during the last DC episode. It's in the book, man. It's in the book. I don't think I could do a better job, so I'm gonna leave that one as done. Hawkeye Lego Man wanted Hawkman. What are the odds? Let's do... We should do a Harley Quinn. Which Harley Quinn, though? There's so many. There's so many of them. I'm gonna look through some reference. You should do a Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy combo. Ray, don't force me to do things. That's a hot seller right there. I see what you did. I know what you're doing. With the hammer, yeah. I think I want to do... I mean, do I want to do two?
We'll just put one in here by the cat.
Yes, we don't go around altering liable artwork, Dr. Franklin. Go. Yes, I think so. Yes, the joyfulness is over.
The joyfulness is over, B-Habs. I'll do the Harley Quinn from the show, like the HBO show, right? I haven't drawn that version yet. Let me just get a reference image. Because I have the movie version with Margot Robbie, and I have a sticker of her, and I have, or maybe I haven't drawn the Tim Burton animated one, but I already did a Batman animated series drawing. She doesn't really use the hammer in this one. She uses a baseball bat, because I see like 0 references of her with a hammer in this series. It's all baseball bats. Okay, I got one. Joseph Zawada's here. What's up, Fair and Mock? Harley Quinn with dogs holiday statue is my favorite Harley design. How you doing, man? Hawkeye says, I almost suggested doing a mashup of Hawkman and Green Arrow. Nah, no mashups. Not today. But we need to do some... I need to think about... So what I want to do... I don't even want to talk about next year, to be honest. I need like a... I need to do some foundation on this one here. My brain is still too stuck in like actually like nice polished artwork from today. I need a rest time, man. I need time to rest and not do this. Not do anything. I had mentioned, if you guys remember, I had mentioned that I'm desperately trying to like take January off. I'm desperately trying to do that. I don't know if it's like possible, financially possible to do that. Got a bad motivator? Take January off. Shows suck after X-Men. No, I know that, Ray. I'm not talking about going to shows because there are no shows to go to. I'm talking about everything else, man. Streaming, making new products, making new stickers, making new prints. all the other things. You know, honestly, this is kind of messy because I think I'm going to go over it, which again is kind of not the point of this. Honestly, I should be doing that. I should be using that downtime to do the new products and stuff for the year so that I don't have to worry about it when we're in con season. That is what I should be doing. That's the smart move. Just trying to get some structure here, and then I'll go back. Draw over it. Rest? What is that? I know. Nick says, I don't got any cons till March. I would just use that time to make. See, that's, yeah, exactly. But like, I'm so exhausted, I don't even want to do that. And it's not at all from a place of no motivation. I've got tons of motivation. I'm just exhausted. My bones are tired. You know what I'm saying? But I do want to do a proper, like, look back at everything and see what have I done. I mean, it definitely, I know it's a lot, but I want to know the numbers. Give me the data. Like, I want to know exactly how many, you know, illustrations I did this year. You got 3 months before anything worth doing shows up. Take one of mine. Exactly. That's what I'm trying to do. That's the goal. All right, let me take this actually off of this. I have never watched the show. That's actually one of the things that has made me so sad. Has made me so sad over the last, oh my goodness, 6 months? Probably more. Maybe 8 months at this point. Is that just being so busy with everything has just destroyed all my routines. And I'm a very, pretty good at, like, routine. I talked about this before, you know. Everything from like gym time to catching up on whatever, movies, television stuff, or playing games. Like, I haven't done any of that in months. It's like every day is just work and home. And home and work are the same place. Unless I'm at a show. But yeah, at some point, Ray, I was thinking we could do. Ray and I have been planning a business chat. I want him to tell me all the things that he thinks I could do better. We could hop into the underappreciated artist coalition Discord server, man, and do a voice call there. I don't mind if other people pop in. If it helps other people, that's amazing. BF says, I kind of want this year to be over. And possibly this decade. Oh. Is that all? Is that all? True, weekends are ideal. I know. We'll figure out something. It'll probably be pretty close to Christmas, to be honest. I don't think you care, but maybe you do. It's been a time. But Doodle streams make it. I'm glad to hear that. Yeah, you know, for me, I have not in any way, shape, or form had a bad year. In any way. It has been an absolutely phenomenal year. It has been a wonderful year, very productive year, an insane amount of accomplishments, and an insane amount of growth. I said on social media, like a truly transformative year, and I feel it. I feel like it was a transformative year for me. But exhausting. Absolutely, utterly exhausting. I am no spring chicken, okay? Although some people think I am. I will never forget that Carlos, CRF Art Room, my dear friend, thought I was 20. And I was like, yeah, man, you can stick around.
Oh, Jesus! Oh, God! Oh, Jesus! God! Oh, Mary, Mother of Jesus! Jesus of Nazareth!
I keep on getting told about this underappreciated artist Discord server. Lol. It's not been a bad year, just long, and I'm tired. Yeah. How's that any different than any year, though? You know? You could say that about every single year. Oh, the year's just been long and I'm tired. Yep. Every year. But yeah, I am, I think I'm at a precipice of something. I don't know what it is. Ray says so too. I'm going to share all of Ray's private comment. Ray said he thinks I'm in a good spot foundationally. And I believe this guy. This guy's done this before. This is all still very new to me, even though everyone thinks I'm an expert at it. I'm not. That doesn't get better as an adult, does it? Because I'm still 29. Oh, nice. No, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. I have not made her look crazy enough in this, unfortunately. She does have kind of some crazy eyes going on, and I did not do that very well. Maybe there, maybe now it's crazy. But yes, my big thing, my big thing for 23, not that I want to really go on about already the new year, but my thing is I found some stuff that's worked for me, and I need to lean into it heavy, and allocate the time and the energy to the places that have better results. And figure out what I'm going to do just in general. There's a lot of stuff that is good. She's not crazy, just eccentric. That's true. That's true. There's a lot of stuff that ended up being really, really good, and if I kept pushing it and diving into that, I have no doubt it would be more and more successful, but I can't. So, for example, what I mean by that, I go to more shows, I make more money. No brainer. It happened all year long. I went to 7 shows last year. I went to 30 shows this year. More shows, more money. More shows, more product that moves. But at the detriment of mental and physical health. Time with family, all that kind of stuff. Can't do it. Can't do it. Not sustainable. So it's like, okay. So that's not an option, really. You can. So then, of course, we get back to the conversation of how can I push more sales online? Which is always the bane of my existence. But that's when we start talking about Redbubble again and TeePublic. And then we need to start getting back into copyright-free designs. Ray says, not more shows, more money from the shows you do. Yeah, that too. Yep, I get that. This music is a little too chill for this. This is the music from the Studio Hours stream, which usually is more chill. This is supposed to be high energy. Teespring? No, I don't have a Teespring. Should I? So, those shops are active. Nothing like crazy is happening there. Thank you to all of you guys that already follow me and support my work elsewhere. You guys are the ones that have placed orders. As far as I can tell, I've gotten no new orders from people that I have no idea who they are. It's folks that already know me and support me elsewhere. Which is great. But the point is to cast that net wider. And thank you for throwing the link out there, Ray. Appreciate it. I think the line weight is just too much. Too crazy. Hello, Bubble of O. So wide. Your prompt has already been drawn. Oh, which one? The Sinestro. Sinestro has been drawn. She's got it's like, I guess it's very, very, very light gray skin. He is quite the character indeed. I don't know if you guys can even see this color. Like between my two monitors, the monitor that I'm drawing on, I can see this, and on the monitor on the right, which has my Streamlabs set up, I cannot. It just looks like I'm just coloring white. Light gray, yeah. It is like very, very light gray. Subtle, but it's there. Okay.
That's dandy. Ho ho, that's rich, I'll say. Now how about some color, stupid?
You got it. This is actually even too yellow. It's got to be even lighter than that. Very, very light. Bubble of O says, it's the digital equivalent of that marker. That's true. I was working on a commission that I got kind of out of nowhere. Well, I had to take my car to the shop. Of course I did, because there's no such thing as building any form of wealth whatsoever. So I had to take my car to the shop. Check engine light came on. Had a broken temperature gauge for the temperature of the engine. Had radiator fluid leaking. And there was two other little things I don't remember. So I was like, well, I need my car, fix it. So that was a lovely $1,000 worth of repairs. But I dropped my car off and took a Lyft home. And the Lyft driver started talking about what I do. And he's like, hey, can I have a business card? It's like, yeah, sure you can. Gave him a business card. He was like, oh, I should hire you to draw something for my wife for Christmas. I'm like, yeah. Everybody says all this stuff and I never hear from you. Like, I didn't say that. I'm like, sure, anytime, whatever. But not expecting to hear from this guy. That same night, he emailed me and was like, hey, this is your Lyft driver. I want to hire you. I was like, oh. So I drew a picture of his wife with her favorite member of New Kids on the Block. Very specific commission. But that kind of came out of nowhere, and it's a little time sensitive. And I was like, all right, I'll hammer this out. It was like, I don't even know how many hours. Not that many. But I was using, it was a traditional piece, and so I needed my markers to color it. And I didn't realize that like the really dark gray had died on me, and I tossed it, and I needed it, and I didn't realize I didn't have it. That was unfortunate. I was not happy about that. So next week, will I be around? Yeah, I'll be around. I don't think I've got anything going on Friday, so we'll have another stream. What do we do next time? I'm not ready to start up Patreon themes yet. We do have a little treasure trove of them, though. We have got quite a few. Pick the doodles for the doodle. No, we're not doing a doodle poster. I greatly appreciate that you are the only person that wants it, but doesn't make any financial sense whatsoever to make a doodle poster. Even if I do pre-orders, because that's what bit me in the butt last year. Is I did the pre-orders and I had so little pre-orders that I couldn't even meet the minimum order. And I had to use my own money, and that's like, yeah, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. something about winter. What do you want to draw? I don't know. Do you want to draw a snowman? Do you want to draw a snowman? Maybe we could do winter. Things your grandma would like getting a picture. There you go. Maybe we could just do freestyle. It's actually been quite a while since we've done a freestyle. We just do that. That means you guys can suggest whatever. I can't even remember the last time we did a freestyle. Actually. Like winter things. So not a snowman, but a sleigh. Bubble of O's landscapes and animals were your two low air. That's true. It was like in nature and environments. And animals. Yeah, those were the two. Those categories were light. But, you know. Not to stress about that. I mean, the next book is going to be like 4 years from now. If we go at the same pace, and I have no reason to believe we'll increase the pace. There's no reason to believe that will happen. It will be the same pace, if not slower. So we're talking 4 years at least. So I don't think there's necessarily a pressure to do something like that. That sounds scary. And Ray says, interesting. Interesting. I need like a light pink one. Has Brian announced PGG2 last night? So you have more to do. No. Negative. That was interesting, wasn't it? That stream. I was listening to it while I was doing grassland stuff, and then every time something ridiculous, I would have to like stop because I wasn't watching, so I'd have to like stop to see what ridiculous thing was occurring. I'm like, what's happening? And that happened a little bit. Happened a little bit. The orchestra was great. That's way too much. Okay, and then we're gonna do this. That's a little creepy. Interesting. I'm just gonna clean it up in the places where it's not supposed to be. Brian's faces were great. They were. There was a lot of shenanigans. Hawkeye Legoman says, figured I'd let you know, even though it's one of your doodles. I'm currently looking at making a plastic mosaic of your doodle of Kate Bishop. Has become a strong candidate. Would you oppose? No, you can do that if you want. Go for it. If you would like to, I will certainly not stop you. I would assume you could also just use the reference of the probably be better than my drawing. But I will not stop you. That one came out okay. Wasn't one of the strongest of the bunch, but it was all right. I saw a bunch of React videos. I think I need to clean up a little bit more around the eyes. It's not that much. It's not that much. There's like none here. No, that should be there. ESP at the end when everyone was trying to figure out what just happened. I watched a bunch of reaction videos to people reacting to the kid that jumped on the stage. Or didn't really jump, he just casually walked up there. But a lot of like random streamer reacts, like one of those compilation videos where it's like just a bunch of people reacting. That was hilarious. Everybody's like reactions to that was like priceless. Of course, it turns out the kid's like a really bad kid. And it's like, well, this is why we can't have any fun. Bubble Vo says, have you connected with local school PTAs about selling at the... Oh, yeah. So I did that. I've done one of those already, and it was phenomenal. And I'm doing another one next week. That is my last thing. That is officially my last thing of the year is the PTO, the next PTO fair. That is the end. That's fine. We'll end it. This one's done. All right. Thank you. I liked it, though. It's one of those that still work, if you know what that means. Yeah. Hey, go for it. Go for it. But yeah, I need to do a concentrated push of copyright-friendly things, like doodles, art designs, like a bunch. All right, I'm gonna dive back. I know it's been absolutely ages. I'm gonna dive back into the suggestion box. Let's see what we got. I'm gonna mark Harley Quinn as complete. Me marrying Batman Christian Bale. Very specific. You know, I was thinking about. You're welcome for this. I was thinking. I'm not at the point yet, but I was thinking of instigating a clause where people can't request themselves. Never used to be a thing, but it creeps in now from time to time where people are like, draw me. And it's like, this is not about drawing you. I was thinking, I haven't not implemented it yet. I've been thinking about it. It's been on my mind. Let's see. What do we do? Which one of these? Oh, I didn't mark Sinestro as done. Let's mark Sinestro as complete. No, I know it was a joke. A lot of times other people don't want, it's not a joke. They want me to draw themselves. I'm like, all right, okay, enough of this. Let's see. Let's do, what's classic Black Manta? Classic Black Manta. What is that? Ah, yes. Gotcha. That's pretty easy to draw. Just getting a good reference. BF says we sneak in laughs when we can. Sure. Sure. I feel like a lot of what I'm seeing is like more modern Black Manta. I feel like it looks very different than, yeah, see, this is very different. Like everything was coming up with like very modern, and I'm like, this looks modernized. I could tell with like the helmet and stuff. But see, now it's showing me retro Black Manta, but it's all toys, and I don't want a toy. I'll just use this one. It's fine. Whatever. Behab's bows. Well, high five for chat humor skills. That's the wrong brush. That's not the right brush. We hit a big milestone over on the TikTok. You guys, I'm sure most of you know, I've been doing a Earthbound redraw series. I take a classic enemy from a sprite. Why can I not draw this line? And I redraw it. Redraw it in my style from the Super NES sprite. And it is the only thing I've ever done on TikTok that has gotten any traction at all. They are 15-second videos. All it is got some very simple copy and pasting video editing of the video game titles, the description of what it is, you know, day whatever of redrawing enemies from this game, and then it has the battle music of the enemy, and these eyes gotta be even bigger, and then my artwork. Literally 15 seconds. That is it. It's 15 seconds. I do one every day. I've only taken one break, one week break, and a couple days ago was day 100. So I am 100 days in of doing this. And it's interesting because like I said, they've gotten more traction than anything else I've done, which is fine. It doesn't, you know, it's working. That's what matters. Bubblevosis, that is a lot of days in. It is. And this is like all on top of it. That's why I'm saying I'm so exhausted. This is all on top of everything else. So, the day 100 video definitely hit the whatever, the algorithm, the FYP, whatever you want to call it, because the videos before that were kind of trending back on the slow side again. It's like, you know, which slow means a couple hundred views, 200, 400, 500, and then day 100 kicked in and we hit 5,000 views. And I wanted to do a live, which was actually Brian's suggestion. I was like, yeah, I could do that. I could draw it live. And I could not, for the life of me, figure out how to do it. I felt like an idiot. I like logged in from desktop, and I couldn't find it. There was no way for me to find it. And I was like, because I tried to do it like a week before, just to like do a trial run or test it, and I could not find out how to do it. Couldn't figure it out. But reversely, I have taken those same TikTok videos and uploaded them to my YouTube channel as shorts. and those have not gotten nearly, not even in the same stratosphere of success at all. Actually, the last several days have been absolute duds. Like today's video has a whopping 1 view. It's pretty amazing. And there's nothing different about them. They go up every single day. They all have the exact same title. I would say that they have clever thumbnails, but they don't, because you actually have no control over short thumbnails on YouTube. They just give you whatever they're going to give you. But people have, at least over on TikTok, have really enjoyed the Earthbound series. I continue video after video after video to get comments like, oh, you should sell these as stickers. Oh, you should sell these as a print. And it's like, yes. Yes, these things will happen. Yes. When it's done, it will happen. But we're still quite a ways away from it being done. There are 176 enemies in that game, and I am 104 days in. So as you can see, we have lots more to do. We have crossed the halfway point, which is good. I mean, it's my favorite video game of all time, and I didn't realize how many enemies were in it. I don't think, to be honest, because I didn't take account when I started it. But I think if I knew that going in, I probably wouldn't have done this. To be perfectly honest, I probably would not have done it. Because I've been like, oh, I can't dedicate that much time to it. That's way too much. Is that right? Looks kind of weird. Let me do it this way. They're not really like that. It's like very different on every reference image. But where is it on the retro one? It's like comes back here, and then it just kind of just goes right like that behind the backpack. Or behind the back. Yeah? Yeah. Seems about right. But yeah, the videos aren't resonating on YouTube, but you know, whatever. It was just a re-upload. I can't make this look good. He has a lot of helmet variation. He does indeed. I'm looking at, like, you know, this Google spread of reference images, and like some of them have it like going like that. Some of them have like really tight going like this. They're like going out like that. Some of them have like wavy action stuff. It's like, what are we doing with these? What's the answer? What is the solution? I'm just gonna do this, I guess. I don't know if I like that. Do you like that, Bubble of Vote? Does that sit well with you? I'm just gonna do that. I vote for artist choice. Isn't that nice of you? All right, I think I'm gonna go with that. I think that's okay. All right, that's good. Let's color it. What is the most menacing curvature. Huh. Oh, that's why. Got it. Layer check. All right. There's so many times, though, what irritates me the most about digital art, but it's, I don't know, is you try to draw a line, you're like, oh, that's, so you do this, you're like, nope, Control Z, nope, Control Z, nope, Control Z, nope, Control Z, nope, and you do that like 15 times for a line, and usually it is a curved line. It's not a straight line. You're trying to get that very specific curve, and it's so aggravating. It makes me mad. I'm like, why can't I draw this line the way I want to draw it? It makes me aggravated. I will audibly exhale and be like, ugh. Had a couple of those today. But I was doing some you know, it's also when it's like, it's much wider, or like if I got to do a line that's like this long, and I have to keep it following the foundation underneath it, it's like so difficult. Should I do a calendar? I was thinking about it. It's that time. A bunch of artists I follow are all like promoting their calendars for 2023, and they've, you know, it's all just print on demand stuff, so there's not like a cost to me. It's just like they use these services and upload some artwork and toss a calendar up. I was like, I think I have enough stuff to do that. I don't know if anybody wants it, but pretty confident I have enough work to populate a calendar.
Jack, I want you to draw me like one of your French girls.
Oh, you got it right. Depends on what's in the calendar. Seriously, Nightbot, I didn't see you say anything. Usually I get a little thing saying Nightbot blocked it, but I didn't get anything. I don't even know what you were gonna say. They got blocked. Hawkeye Legoman says, have themes? No, I do not. I have not put any additional thought into it aside from, oh, should I do a calendar? That is literally all I have done. I think I'd like to, one day, at least. That word I think is blocked. Seinfeld bit about lines that never got greenlit. What is the thing with lines? I mean, how are they not straight? It's a line. A line should not. It's about. That's weird. I wonder what it was. I have you now, Nightbot. I don't know what you tried to say that it didn't like. Is it that episode? That I don't know. Weird. Does some weird things sometimes. And it's not like, I don't have it set to be strict. I really don't. So we're an hour and 15 minutes in. We've technically only done 3. I did Two-Face before we started. So there's the Sinestro. All right, I'm going to dive back into the suggestion box. Let me mark Classic Black Manta as complete. Let's do... let's do Power Girl. I don't think I've ever drawn Power Girl. Have I ever drawn Power Girl? I don't know. That is a great Sinestro. Thank you. I was trying to make it look better than the last one I did. The last one wasn't that super good. It was a long time ago. I did it for the yellow episode. That was a long time ago. Like, the episode was anything yellow. These reference images are fun. Which image should we use? I kind of want one where she's flexing. I feel like that is the pose. And a lot of these she's not. Most of these she's not. It's interesting. This one is pretty good. This is a this is a action figure thing. I would rather have an image I can look at that's not from a toy. I don't think I have a. Now, if I click on this, will I actually get a larger image? I will. Look at that. Never happens. I'll try that. I think I'm gonna have to do some structure. Go larger images. Oh yeah, I forgot that's a thing. I totally forgot that was an option to select. Show me like larger images. Done. And finished. I think I need to shrink these. I guess just all the rest of it. Could probably get shrunk at this point. At least a little bit. No. No. Still better than my artistic attempts. Hey, you could be a AI artist. Hey, Matt Elder, thanks for the Prime sub. Appreciate it. A whole entire year, man. You got the Earl of Lemongrab for you. How you doing? Welcome to the show. We're doing DC today. I know how much of a fan you are of DC.
No matter how anybody says it is. Feels good to have made something.
That's true. It does, right? Matt says, got sick of freaking ads. Been here for like 5 minutes. Well, I want you to know, Matt, it is not set to being aggressive. It is not the default setting. But thank you for complaining about it every single time you're here. Bubble Levo says, man, understanding the AI art holes is hard. It can do jellyfish and seahorses, but anemones confuse it to no end. Also, helmet with wings is very hard. I don't know anything about it at all. I just know it causes a lot of issues. Hey, thanks, Bobolovo. Appreciate the sub. Lucky 13 whole entire months. I am honored. You've honored me, sir. Thank you. Bless you. Also, Matt, now that you used your Prime sub, you don't need to watch ads. Thanks, Ray. Ray threw 45 pennies at me. Matt says, I'm conflicted. AI art is copyright though. Don't get me started. Yeah, it is. Totally. Have you guys seen the AI bros get mad at the NFT bros for stealing their AI art and then turning it into NFTs? It's amazing. It is so hilarious to me. It's like the AI bros have stolen the work of all the other artists to make their thing, and then the NFT bros steal the AI bros artwork to profit in the NFT market space. It's just like, oh my goodness, what's happening? What are you even doing? But yes, thank you for the subs and the bits. You guys are very much appreciated. Oh, look at Ray. Ray, you come into a... Did you come into an inheritance? Ray is gifting some tier 1 subs to Big D Performance and Dog Lips. Looks like we got some lurkers. Infinite Hands. Oh yeah, big money. I see, Ray. I see you. Thanks, man. Always appreciate it. You gotta get that hype train rolling. Oh, I didn't even see the... I don't ever get hype trains, so I don't even like... It doesn't even register with me. Exclamation point, where, Mare? We're almost there, Matt. We're almost there. We're almost there. Almost. We're gonna need a little bit, just a little bit more. We're almost there. I need to turn this down even more. It starts to like mess me up. Look at all these hype. You guys are all hyping, but nothing's happening.
Well, art is not all fun and games. It's a lot of hard work.
It is. It is a lot of hard work. I really appreciate all of this hypeness. Even if there's nothing to hype about. Were you guys doing a proactive hyping? You're like, I'm gonna assume this is gonna work. And it's like, well... well, did it? I like those little bees. Those bees are fun. James B 48 Party Bee. One of them's like rocking and the other one's just licking. Or is that like, it's not head banging, it's head licking? No. Ah, Ray bought me Surf and Turf. Thanks, Ray. Aren't you too kind?
Looks so yummy, yummy. Looks so good. Yummy, yummy. Looks so good. Yummy, yummy. Looks so good. Yummy, yummy. Looks so good.
That woke me up. Ray's like, I need some hype. Why is there no hype going on here? I appreciate it. Give me the hype. Ray's not going to be satisfied until he gets this hype. Thanks, Bobovo. Another, sir? I can't have another helping. Thanks for the...
Wow. You did these freehand?
Yep.
I'm really proud of you.
I did. Thank you, Ray. What is this one? What is this? My avatar? That was a little creepy. Just a little, though, of course. The most obscure. Yeah, man. Yeah, it is. Okay. David is me. Ducks and me. Given. Oh, do we actually do? I don't even know what to do with myself with a hype train. Thank you, though. Thank you so much. David is me for gifting the 5 tier 1 subs to Ducks and Me, 1029, Chaser the Guy, Frog Coo, John Fistigov, Hope Castle. Look at all these people lurking around. I'm on a tier 3? I didn't even know I had a tier 1. When did that happen? Did Power Girl distract me? I guess she does that. Thank you, guys. Okay, the hype is justified now. Was the hype justified earlier and I was just not paying attention? It had to be, right? It had to be. Otherwise, would you guys have been all over this? I was like, I don't know what you guys are going on about. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. The hype was justified. David says, I just love me some Kevin Hinkle. Well, you know what? I love you too. Bro. I don't just hype to hype. That is actually a hilarious statement. I don't hype to hype. That's actually a hilarious statement. Ray, you're a comedian. Ray, you're a comedian, Ray. I don't know if spamming the icons do it. I don't. Probably not.
You're making us a little bit uncomfortable.
Relax, big guy. He's just doing this for his art. Right, Homer?
Oh, yeah. Art.
I saw a clip from The Simpsons. I need to move this circle. I saw a clip from The Simpsons. I don't watch The Simpsons anymore. I haven't watched it in like a decade. But I saw this clip. Maybe I'm assuming I'm super late to the party. But like Lenny was at Moe's, right? I think I'm getting the names right. And to realize that like what are the two names of the guys? Lenny and something. But he's like not really there. He's like been a figment of his imagination. Is that real? Is that like canon? Do you know what I'm talking about? Thank you guys again for gifting all the subs and making a hype train happen. I don't ever have hype trains, so that's really kind of you. I hope that you've enjoyed all the artwork this evening and any other time that you may be lurking. That kind of stuff does mean a lot. As I say all the time, my artwork is not my hobby. This is my full-time job. So anytime you guys are around and you're watching the ads, Matt Elder, know that this is my only source of income. So I do appreciate it. You guys literally help put food on the table for me and my family. So. I have not watched The Simpsons for a while yet. But yeah, it was like a clip, and I can't remember the name of the guys, but the two guys from that clip from You're Making Us Uncomfortable, Homer's like work friends. And in this clip, they're like revealed that it's only ever been the one guy, and he was always imagining his friend, the other guy. But I was like, is that real? Or is that like a Treehouse of Horror thing? Because I'm like, I feel like that's not real. I feel like that was probably some kind of spoof of some kind. You know what I mean? Hype train success. Goodbye, train. Fare thee well, train. Fare thee well. Let's see, what can we do for goodbye to the train? Last words?
Hold it right there, Doodle. Any last words?
Thank you guys again. I do really appreciate it. And I'm sure all these people that all now have access to these exclusive Hinkle emotes can use them on anywhere in Twitch. I think a lot of them are very versatile. I might be biased. I like that little cat one, but it upsets me that you can't use that cat one anywhere else. You can only use it in this stream while it's active, and I'm like, dang, that's lame. That's lame. You know? Did you see what I was talking about though, Ray? With the NFT bros stealing the AI bros artwork. And they're the NFT bros are demanding copyright. They're like, our stuff, or the AI artists are demanding copyright. They're like, our stuff should be copyright. And it's like, that's interesting. That's an interesting take. It is absolutely bro on bro violence. It is hilarious. It is absolutely hilarious. Bro on bro violence. Bro on bro violence. Bros don't let bros get their work stolen. Bros don't let bros steal their work. It's ridiculous, is what it is. I don't know why I'm working this detail, because it's like you can't even see it at this. There she is. I can't wait for all the AI art booths to... Oh, you know what? At least one already started. It was trending. It was trending. What was it? Anime New York? Anime New York, there was an AI art booth in Artist Alley. It is occurring. It is happening. This is your bro on AI. Yeah. It was wild. But yeah, it was trending, and it was kind of wild. It was like the most minimalist effort booth. It was like a very cheap Walmart $40 tent inside Anime New York with a wall of prints all plastered everywhere, and it had like these statements, these printed out statements saying, please note all of this is AI, and they were kind of trying to hide behind a disability of some kind, saying I'm a disabled artist, so this helps me be able to create and share my artwork because I have some kind of condition that does not allow me to make art. And it's like, like people had photos everywhere of it, all of it, of every bit of it, like all the signage and everything. It was a thing. So, what's your process? There was this guy at Kineticon. I was making a lap around the event, and I stopped in my tracks because I saw something that I was like, wow, that is really good. And I couldn't place it. I'm like, I don't know, something about it is super familiar, but I couldn't place it. And I was like, hey, this stuff's really good. But like, I was genuinely like shocked. And I went back to my table and I sat and I kept thinking, I kept dwelling on it. I'm like, why is that so familiar? And I'm like, wait a minute. And so I brought up the Instagram of one of my all-time favorite artists, which is Nuri Dur. I've talked about him plenty of times. Also goes by Action Hank Beard on Instagram and other social sites. One of my absolute favorite artists. And I'm like, that's his artwork. It's literally his artwork, traced over his artwork. Because it wasn't like quite the same, but it was so similar. And the spot where his signature was, he has a very, he has a standardized signature like me. That was like removed, and the other guys was there. And I called him out on it online on social. I was like, hey, just so you know, this is stolen from this guy. And then he blocked me. He went all the way too. He blocked my business account and my personal account. And I know this because I may or may not have other accounts where I can see. Like, oh, there you are. Now, that's disrespectful to all the disabled artists who learn to draw. Exactly. Ray says, I mean, honestly, what's even the difference between them and the folks just printing out movie posters? I know. It was on Instagram, Ray. This was during the summer. But see, the thing is that his account, it's so weird. He definitely knows what he's doing. He knows what he's doing. He knows what he's doing. His Instagram had zero artwork. No artwork on his Instagram at all. None. It was just him and like food shots, coffee shops, gym shots. But like the bio was like, I'm an artist. Here's, reach out for commissions or whatever, but not a single piece of artwork in his Instagram. And because all of his artwork is stolen. He doesn't want anyone to see it. He had business cards. I took the business card. That's how I found his stuff. And I'm like, yeah, interesting. And then, I was like, hey, this stuff's stolen. I replied to somebody else's, Joey. Joey was there and he did a purchase. Maniac for Bricks did. And I was like, sorry to say this is stolen from this artist. And he blocked me. There's always the one movie poster booth and they sell it. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Why are we just now hearing Instafight? I mean, it wasn't that big a deal. I was at Terrificon, which is a very good show for me. I need to book my table. I don't have any money. I have no money. Like, I need to book tables, and I don't have any income to do that right now. Whatever. There'll be time. What was I saying? Terrificon. Terrificon, the guy that was behind me at Terrificon last year, not this year. He was one of those, like, I just go online and buy. I mean, he was so open about it, too. He's like, oh, I just go on Google and I find movie posters and I print them. I don't draw anything. Like, he was so open about it. He's like, I'm not an artist. I don't know how to be an artist. But the dude, like, made bank. Made absolute bank. And I hate it. I can't stand it. Can't stand it. Nick says, yo, next year we rolling the convention halls, throwing hands at everybody. Kevin's Ocean 11, a symbol. Look what B-Habs started. Look what you started, B-Habs. Are you proud of yourself? I need to figure out, I need to do just a little bit of event prep tonight. And I need to figure out where that venue is. I have no idea how far North Haven is from me. That's dangerous. Sometimes I wait till the absolute last minute to look because I just assume, oh, it's Connecticut. It's Connecticut. It's not that big. Which, in the grand scheme of things, is not. But then it's like, oh, that venue's an hour and a half away, or that's 2 hours away. And then it totally changes my morning plans. You know what I mean? Do we have a unifying outfit theme for this Rollin'? I need to get some sweet. So, like, I thought I was all up on the up and up for my brand game. You guys know I've got marketing experience, but I am no Art of Nick Lanza or Vandal. What's his name? His name's Vandal. But what is his business name? These guys are swinging in with the branded merch, the branded shirts, branded hoodie. I don't got that. I just have, like, my own personal brand. I don't have, like, I need to work on that. That's what I need to do. That's what I need to do. Custom ink, baby. Can you do like one? There has to be a minimum order, right? I wanted to get. Hey, what's up, Jeff? I mean, nothing says brand like an original comic book. You know, this is true. This is true. What was I gonna say? Oh, I wanted to get and nice to see you, Jeff. Thank you very much for the sub. I really appreciate it, man. Hope you're doing well as we are about to get into Christmas. I wanted to do some like custom embroidery for like some sweater vests and stuff. And I went to Broken Arrow Wear, which is what I've used for in the past for like bricks in the middle stuff. They have really good quality, but like the minimum order was like I had to get like 12. It's like I don't need 12. Jeff is surviving. Well, that's okay. Hopefully we can get you better than just survive. David is me. North Haven is only like 10 minutes past New Haven. Oh. Okay, so that means so New Haven is an hour and like 15 minutes from me. So it's like an hour and a half. Ugh. The Hinkle collection at Uniqlo. Amazing. Ray says, remind me to show you where I got my custom shirts for Kickstarter. They got good deal. No minimum. Nice. Yeah, you'll have to let me know. Nick says, depends on what shirt type you select. Some have minimum, some you can order as many or few as you want. Okay. See, Jeff says, hey, it's been 60 days since my attempt. Oh, that's not good, man. Surviving is pretty, but so yeah, I mean, yeah. Sorry to hear that, man. That's awful. I'm glad you're here right now. Always welcome around these parts, man. We're doing DC characters today. So if you have a suggestion, feel free to toss it in the suggestion box. What's up, Jay Freak? How you doing? Doing great, and you? Doing all right. We're doing okay. Let's see. You know, typical stuff, kind of bouncing all over the place. Jeff says, yep, we'll watch the replay and check out Patreon stuff. All right, see you later, Jeff. Take care, man. Let's see. Let's see. I feel that, yeah. Kind of talking about end of the year stuff and, you know, reflection stuff. Custom printing, embroidery stuff. My back. All right. There's Power Girl. You know, have to have at least one character that's like a full body. No pun intended. All right. I guess I'll rearrange some of these guys. I'm going to dive back into the suggestion box. So if you have a suggestion, make sure you toss it over there. Today is all about DC characters. All right. Bo Laveau says, in one of the channels you had mentioned one of the Orlando, was a dream goal. What would be the big It's Amazing convention? I would say like the big one is New York. I have like zero ambitions to go to San Diego. It'll never happen. It will never happen. And I'm not necessarily holding my breath or even aspiring, to be honest, to go to San Diego. So New York for me is like the top. That would be like my big one. That would be my big one. Jim Carrey Riddler. Ooh, Slade from Teen Titans. Yeah, let's do that. Slade from Teen Titans. That's a fun one. Forgot about that guy. Nice. I remember the first, like, my introduction to Deathstroke, right? That's this character. He's Deathstroke. Like, this was my personal introduction to this character. I'm sure it was for a lot of other folks, too. In Teen Titans as a cartoon. And I was like, this guy's cool. But he was always Slade Wilson, which is the name of Deathstroke. And they never called him Deathstroke at all, ever, in this cartoon. Ever. And then he was in other, like, media. and his name was Destro. I'm like, what? That's not his name. His name's Slade. Slade. I didn't even know his last name. His name is just Slade. What are you talking about? What do you mean? How do I get this? This is kind of a tough curve. We're talking about tough curvatures again. Of course. His voice too. It's like I'll never forget like that voice. Hello, Robin. I can't do it. I'm nowhere near. But Team Slade. Did we ever get like a satisfactory end to Teen Titans or no? I don't remember. We're not even gonna go into the Teen Titans Go or any of that nonsense, but like OG Teen Titans, did it like have an ending or did it just get like abruptly canceled? Like I know they were starting to like plant some seeds of things and like another branch. What was it, Teen Titans West or whatever? It was like kind of neat, expanding the universe and stuff. It probably just got canceled, didn't it? That's probably what happened. Depends on what you consider sad. Like it had like some kind of ending or some kind of conclusion that was not just abrupt ending. Like, well, I don't know, any threads, massive threads hanging or anything like that. I don't care about spoilers, man. Go right ahead. Bubblavosis, has the internet been doing better for you? Oh, no. No. Or have you gotten better at avoiding the trouble? No, I'm just like used to it. But like, no, it goes out every day. It goes out constantly. I'm constantly switching between cell data and Wi-Fi. It still always dies after I do a stream. But like, I'm just so used to it at this point. Like it's sad. It's sad how used to it I am, but I really am. I'm 100% used to it. We're 6-7 months in now. And so I'm just like, okay, well, I'm going to do the stream and then I'm going to have no internet. So I'll switch to my phone. Like I'm just used to it. But no, it's not any better. Still goes out every day. I guess I've been lucky, if anything. It still has impacted a couple streams. We've had a couple studio hour streams that died, which was really unfortunate. I can't stand that when that happens. Like when it's in the middle of a stream, I can't stand it. So I guess I've just been lucky. But it's still very much a problem and an issue. Tara comes back to life somehow, but has no memory of what happened. Beast Boy has to learn to let her go. Oh. That answer had an impressive amount of anger behind it. About being used to it. I just can't do anything about it. I keep meaning to call the provider though and asking if there was any updates for fiber again. That's aggravating that I have to do that. It's like, I'm giving you my money to upgrade. Just, and you know, like I said, we already tried to do it before, and they falsely told me I was ready when I wasn't. No. See, here's what we talked about, drawing the same line over and over again. Remember we talked about this? I assure you this happens all the time, no matter what I'm doing. Funny fixes, but yeah, I don't think I've seen Slay Deathstroke done better than that card. Yeah, I would agree with that. I mean, I haven't seen like every bit of media, as I've just talked about. I'm behind on everything, but there's a few exceptions. There's a couple things that like, yeah, I need to see this at whatever expense. So like, I would say like the Star Wars things this year. That was like that was this year, wasn't it? Like this year we had Obi-Wan and Book of Boba Fett and Andor. Like all those things happened this year, right? Like each of those things I had to watch. So like I was watching them in the morning, like in very small increments where I'm like eating breakfast and I have it on, or I'm at the laundromat and I have it on in the car on my phone. Lunch break. Like those were exceptions where like I have to watch this content. And then the Marvel shows, Miss Marvel. What other ones? She-Hulk. The Marvel and the Star Wars stuff was stuff that I'm like, yeah, I need to still watch this no matter how busy I am. Oh, Hawkeye happened. He was in Arrow, the Batman game, Young Justice. Hawkeye says, the last DC I watched was the Joker movie, so I can't add much to this stream. That's okay. You know, everybody's got their stream, you know? Everybody's got ones that work for them and ones that don't. We still have an entire hour left. Man, okay. All right. I thought, okay, that's fine. I mean, I'm having a blast. The last time I did a DC stream, we got that really, really bad Wonder Woman that was a Feel in Love, that was a redemption because it was so bad. And that was when we were doing that big crossover special with Ray when he was streaming and Matt when he was streaming. How I have the only one standing. That's just how it always seems to go in my life. I'm just always the last one left. Ain't that how it is? yeah, I was like always curious, like why is Slade so obsessed with Robin? Is it because he hates Batman so much? So like Robin's his like entry point to get to Batman? Like what is going on? You know? It's like what is the motivation here? Behab says my internet caught Kevin's internet disease. Awful. Terrible. It's not fun. It really isn't. It's really not fun. I'm sorry to hear of this. There's our Slade. Slade has joined the roster. Him turning a Robin would be a great blow. Is that what his thing was? He was just trying to turn, make Robin evil. Okay. Slade, we're going to mark that as complete. Thank you for that suggestion, Nick. Uh-oh. Oh, no. Is the stream still working? Can you guys hear me? I think they're doing that in the comics right now.
Hi, Kevin.
Yes? Okay. Why is this not working?
No matter how anybody says it is. Feels good to have made something.
My browser just like freaked out. Okay, weird. All right. I refreshed. It's okay now. Everything was like offline. I was like, uh-oh. There it is. Now the time has occurred. All right, the suggestion box is back
I
again.
think I've improved on your methods a bit too. I employed some chiaroscuro shading and...
I'll improve on your methods.
What? All right, let's do Man Bat for Jeff. Sounds like Jeff's having a rough time. Man Bat. You know, I think I gotta just go with the classic animated series version of Man Bat. That's like the one that I think about. The other ones have never been like super iconic to me. It's just a giant bat, you know? But the something about the style of that one. Thank you guys for confirming. That was really weird. Like the whole browser just like locked up, and I was like, "Uh-oh, uh-oh, here we go. It's about time. It is about time, ain't it?" Smiling. Got a grin on his face. I almost forgot his nostrils. The jaw should come down here. Yes. Batman has such awesome enemies. The Rogues Gallery for Batman is like unparalleled. Like, I just can't. Like, there's nothing for me. There's like no other batch of bad guys that is as iconic and as amazing as Batman's Rogues Gallery. Akil, hey. I am in New York City. Well, what are you doing over there? Why aren't you here? No, that's a lot more fun. That is a lot more fun, man. That's awesome. Spider-Man's got some goats. Eh. I don't really know enough to know all the Spider-Man villains, though. I know, like, the iconic ones from the films. Going to see Beetlejuice musical, that's cool. I was thinking about seeing that. I still need to see Lion King. Like, I feel like in my life, I need to see Lion King on Broadway, right? Like, I have to do that. That is one of those, like, you must do this in your life kind of thing. And I've never done it. I've never done that. The only Broadway musical I have seen was SpongeBob. And I loved it. I loved every second of it, and I have no regrets. Jay Freaks' Lion King is amazing. Saw it twice. Yeah, see, everyone loves it. And I love Lion King, the story. Really? Just SpongeBob? I know! That's it. That's the only one I've seen. That's the only one I've seen. SpongeBob. It was great. It was a delight. It was really good. If you love SpongeBob, you will love it. Love it. Those performers were brilliant as the characters. But that's it. That's all I've seen. I've seen a ton of shows on Broadway and still haven't seen Lion King. Saw Beauty and the Beast twice, though. It's got to be really good if you go see it twice. Like, more so than, like, just seeing a film twice. Like, it's got to be really good to make you go see it twice. So that's saying something. I probably could have done better if I did some structure under this. But that is not the point of the Doodle Stream. The point of the Doodle Stream is to be loose and sketch. We're not here to make masterpieces, okay? But this is not how I normally draw. You may think, Kevin, how do you do this? How do you just do that? No, I don't. The answer is I don't do that. The answer is this is not what I do. B-Heb says my internet is ridiculous. J Freaks as well. I did get gifted the ticket. Yeah, I would be, if I got gifted tickets, I'd be all in. Lion King on Broadway is amazing. Akil says, yeah, I have seen tons of clips and bootlegs. Okay, it is now time for the show. But I thought I would say, well, thank you. Have a good show. See you later, Akil. You are right. I think all the time. I'm curious if this Mario movie will be a musical, which will lead to a live-action Broadway musical. I don't think so. No, it's not going to be a musical. I mean, there might be a musical number in it, but I really don't think it's going to be a musical. I have no issues with musicals. I don't think it's going to be a musical. I think I'm going to stick with that for the drawing. I'm into the Super Mario Broadway musical. They're going to start with the Do the Mario. I really hope. I really, really hope. I hope of my hopes of hopes is that that song's in the movie. They're already teasing it with those marketing promo images saying plumbing's our game. That's literally the only time they've ever said that. We're the Mario Brothers and plumbing's our game. I'm like, what are you doing? Are you messing with my heart? The song will lead to Super Mario the Broadway play. Dave, it's amazing that the Lion King musical was directed by Julie Taymor, and it's one of the longest running shows, but also directed the Spider-Man musical, which was one of the biggest flops of all time. I didn't know there was a Spider-Man musical. Would you guys watch Rogers? The like spoof Marvel play in the MCU series? I'd go see it. I'd go see Rogers the musical. With Ant-Man randomly there. He wasn't even there. I'd see Rogers. Bubble Low says this. Oh, I already read that. I already read your comment. We'll do a little hint of the blue. That'll just be our little secret. This color? Sure. It's a little lighter than it probably should be, but that's all right. I had a toy. I had a Man-Bat toy when I was a kid, like from the animated series. I remember that now. It had like flapping wing action. I think if you squeezed his legs together, his wings would flap, and it was really cool. It was actually a really cool play function. Like, I didn't necessarily care a ton about the character, but like that play functionality on that toy was really cool. I remember this. Core memory unlocked. I remember that. It was really cool. BF says, being that I was a theater kid, not everything needs to be a musical. Bubble LeVeau, given all the Nintendo properties, surprised we don't have a musical for any of them. I think they've been too afraid to do anything. To be honest, I really do. I think they're too... This film, which I think is going to be great, I really do. I don't have any concerns that it won't be amazing. But I think for them, for the inside halls of Japanese offices of Nintendo, this is the test to see if they start doing this kind of stuff again. I think they got so turned off to all this with some of their, the other movie flop, the Bob Hoskins, and like the animated show not doing so well. And I think they've just been scared ever since then. And now you've had enough turn. And I know all about people in corporate offices just being absolutely locked into their opinions, and it's never going to change no matter what you do or say. And maybe there's just been enough changeover that now they're finally willing to... I mean, they've had 2 CEOs since then. But I really do think this is going to be the big test to unleash all kinds of other things that they've probably been holding off on because it's concerns. For example, Spider-Man. Spider-Man Turn Off the Dark was the name. They flew all over the theater. During the run, 6 different people got hurt. One of the stunt spies fell and broke his back. Absolute nightmare of production. Wow. It takes a lot to be profitable as a musical. I don't think they'd have the audience for a Mario musical. Movies and TV probably yes, but theater doubtful. I missed like 90% of that. What are we testing? You think this is the Funny Figs show where you get a private recap, Ray? I'm special. Give me a recap. I wasn't present. The Mario movie. It's a test. It's a test to see if they can expand into that kind of media again. All right, there's our man bat for Jeff. Mark that as done in the suggestion box. I want my bits back. No refunds. You donate bits at your own risk for sassiness, for snarkiness. We are testing Kevin's audition skills for the Super Mario movie. No, I'm all right. You know what I would like though? I would like a keyboard. I used to play the piano, and I haven't owned a piano or a keyboard in like 15 years. I would like a keyboard to play again. J-Freak has a keyboard. That's cool. But I don't have space for it. Do you not want it? Dave has it. All these keyboards, they just appear. It's like, I wish I could have a keyboard. And all of a sudden, keyboards start falling out of the walls. You guys are awesome. You guys are too kind. Yeah, we'll have to figure something out. I don't need everyone's keyboards. It's like I have none and then I have 10. Ray, do you have a keyboard hanging out at your house too? You guys are very kind though. It's yours if you want it. I mean, I would like to refamiliarize myself with piano. Oh, I didn't mark Power Girl as complete. Power Girl is complete. What else we got in here? I'm gonna mark the shark guy from Suicide Squad as done, even though, like I said, it's done. We've done it before, and we did a pretty good one. Let's see. Behabs does not have a keyboard. I wish I had a keyboard and the monkey paw finger curls. You will have all the keyboards. Love it. All right, I'm gonna do Green Arrow next. I'm gonna do it based on the comic, not on the whatever, just other media. Do I need to shrink more things? Possibly. I could probably shrink Power Girl. Let's move Sinestro. And let's move Black Manta and Harley Quinn. See if we can move them together without messing up anything. The answer is no. We gotta move Power Girl down. The Tetris blocks must move. Okay, we have some. I have created space. Have you ever done a keyboard cat? Ray, are you speaking English? What does that mean? Have Have you ever done a keyboard cat? Bubble Ho says, do you have musical instruments? I do not. Everyone needs more cowbell. That's true. The number of times over the years somebody has put a comment on my thing saying, like anything on a post saying needs more cowbell is actually a lot. A lot of people have done that over the years. Oh, you know what? Are you just talking about the cat that just slams the paws on the keyboard? That was a meme before there were memes. That's true. If that's what you're talking about. I mean, I know what you're talking about, but I don't have cats. I don't like cats. We've talked about this, Ray. This is, by the way, a generic, like, holiday playlist. And I think it's funny because I keep almost hearing a holiday song, and then it, like, trails off. I'm like, actually, no. What's up, Reed? Thanks for the bits. How you doing? How's Reed today? Reed, I had another patron have the same issue that you had. It's really annoying. Actually, two different patrons. So I've been, for anybody who is a Patreon, I'm starting to get a little tougher on decline payments because it's really aggravating and it skews a lot of my metrics and data, and it's just like I'm done with it. And so I've been a little bit more on the ball.
Oh, Jesus! Oh, God! Oh, Jesus! God! Oh, Mary, Mother of Jesus! Jesus of Nazareth!
So, the new rule, which has been clearly communicated several times now, and I wish there was more tools. There's just not. There's not more tools in the creator dashboard. But if there's a patron that goes into decline payment, Patreon does tell you. They're like, hey, your method of payment was declined. I'm assuming that probably goes into spam or something for a lot of folks, so they don't ever see it. And then Patreon tries to do it again, but that's it. They try like twice and then they're done. And then you just sit in perpetual decline status. And you show up as this kind of anomaly on all my records, where it's like you are a patron, but you're not a patron. It's very aggravating. And so the new rule is that if you are in decline status for 3 months, you are banned. I will ban you. And like I said, I wish there was a better tool, like just boot you as a patron, but like I can't do that. I can message you, and so that's what I've been doing. I've been like, hey, you're a patron and your payment has been declined for 3 months in a row. So can you please fix your payment? Or cancel? You can cancel. I'm not offended. It would be better if you canceled than to just be forever in decline status. Thanks again for the bits, Reed. Doing okay. We'll be co-hostless tonight as Larry and Jesse have holiday parties. Oh, and enjoying 4 to 6 inches of snow. Gross. Decline status sucks. Yeah, starting over works. Yeah, that's what I told. So yeah, there's 2 people who both have been in decline status for 3 months. So I said, hey, you're at 3 months. If you don't fix it, you're out. And then both of them replied, which was nice. But they updated their cards and it didn't work. They were still declined. And I'm like, yep. So here's what you're going to do now. I do not like this mask at all. Reed says, but I will enjoy my new gaming chair. Oh. A new gaming chair, you say? That's cool. How much was it? $1,000? My chair was $1,000. which I found ridiculous, but it's a tax write-off. It's an actual draftsman's chair. It does help. It helps a lot. It helps an absolute lot. But it's just like $1,000 for a chair. Are you absolutely out of your mind? My favorite chair was free out of the garbage. Raymond. So sad, Ray. I used to use like a folding, like those chairs you take to like camping trips and stuff. Because I didn't have a chair down here. That's what I used. And it gave me a ton of back problems. A ton of them. Yeah, chairs are pricey. They are indeed. Did the GT Racing mystery bag on Cyber Monday. $150. That's not bad then. The Griffiths have a long and proud history of dumpster diving. Jay Freak says, but I also work in an architecture firm with interior designers who spec super expensive chairs for hosts. Yeah, I believe it. I believe it. To me, it just seems excessive, but I mean, I see the benefit to it, and it's just like, really? Like, this is rent, you know? This is rent for people. It's a chair. I don't know if I'm doing a better job this time with the mask. I'm assuming I am. No, I am not. Take a step back. I'm like, nope. The face is okay. But the head shape is off. Reed says, just need a better setup to go with the chair now. Time to sweet talk mom into letting me customize the basement a bit. Well, you're down there enough. It's like an office studio for you. That's what my basement is. Alright, I gotta shrink this. Not the cooler Master Orb X chair. Need to maximize the chairness. Maximize. Enhance the chair. No. I hate it when the eraser's gigantic, even though I'm the one that makes it that way. But it's like, nah, I didn't want to do that. I don't know how I feel about this one. I might be tapped out today. Like I said, I've been drawing all day long. All day I've been drawing. Like intense drawing. Like book drawing. Which I thought was going to set me up for success today. It didn't actually do that. Because my mind was in a different type of drawing mood. This is much looser, quicker sketches, and I was in very polished, final art mode. That's a very different mindset. I'm just gonna color this. Oh, I forgot that I still had that. Had that layer for the sketch behind Harley. That was forever ago. That was like 2 hours ago. That was practically another month. It's a very specific green. It's like blue green. Better than the circa 1960s, 1970s dining room table chair that I was using before. Yeah, see? That is better than that. Yeah, so I was using one of those folding camping chairs, and that was miserable. I mean, it got the job done, but like, I was like, you know, sinking into the chair because it has like the just parachute material, and then hunching over the tablet. Like my back was, I had a couple times. It was actually earlier this year. I bought that chair this year. Oh my goodness, so many things this year. This year I bought this chair. I bought this chair with some of my Pro Gamers Guide payment for the work for that. I forgot about that. So that was like in February, March time. Because doing the Pro Gamers Guide work, on top of doing earlier development for Grasslands, I had some long days. I had some like 14 to 16 hour days of drawing, just sitting and drawing, and my back was shot. It was like awful. And that's when I was like, I should probably get a good chair. Then the stream is doing its job of making you work outside the comfort zone and be faster. Jay Freak says, nice. You didn't buy your chair with your plastic sale? No, that went all to bills. All to bills. And it's all gone. All gone. I have no regrets for it being gone. The only thing I have regrets for is that I didn't get as much as I should have got for it. That's the only thing I should have gotten thousands and thousands of dollars more than I got. But you know, that's how it is when you get to that point. You're just trying to offload and get it done, get it out of your life. You got to take a hit. I try not to think about it. It actually makes me a little upset about how little I got for what I should have got. I sell some plastic once in a while to buy more plastic to keep me moving. You're a hoarder though, Reed. You know this. You know this. You're aware. You gotta focus on buying stuff that you're actually gonna use and do things with, not just more and more piles of plastic that just sits. Far too many Lego people just hoard plastic. Don't do anything with it. And it's a lot of, one day I'll do X, Y, or Z. It's like, yeah, but you won't ever do that. It makes me cry that you are no longer a plastic fan. Yeah, you'll get over it. I think you'll get over it. Maybe you won't. You've got plenty of other friends to talk about Lugbolt for the 1000th time. But as I've said before, I've talked about this in like the studio hour streams, is that I do feel the need to have some kind of like sculptural outlet, some kind of creative sculptural thing, because I don't have that right now. Putting Lego folk on blast, that's what I do, man. Not really, that's not really what I do. I just say the truth sometimes. I had a guy today. Was it yeah, it was today. At like 7 in the morning. Who shot me a Facebook Messenger message about my sig fig. My business sig fig. And I'm like, why do you people keep contacting me about this junk? Please stop. Please stop. It has been a little bit since the last one, so I was like, did it finally end? Is it finally over? No. The answer is no. Well, I need to get the workshop organized so that building is easier. Trying to liquidate this to get you could. I guess you will need to come play Minecraft. I do want to play Minecraft. I do. I just don't have the time, but I do want to play it. That's hilarious. Like, he thought you had a bomb. Right? I'm not super happy with that green arrow, but there it is. I was trying to go for this comic panel. Kind of like what I did for Sinestro. It did not work. That's okay. They're not all winners. They're not all winners. Okay. I don't have a lot of space. This is looking great there, Kevin. Thank you, Hawkeye Lego Man. Haven't played Minecraft in forever, says Jay Free. Hope Castle, at least you won't get to see how I torture you.
Hi, Kevin.
Eyebrow Express, what are you doing here? How's it going? Today's DC. The wonderful world of DC. I'm gonna mark Green Arrow as complete in the suggestion box. I think we're tapped out.
Oh, Jesus! Oh, God! Oh, Jesus! God! Oh, Mary, Mother of Jesus! Jesus of Nazareth!
It's all fodder for the... I mean, it is. I wouldn't say all of these are fodder for, but there are some. Actually, out of all of these, out of this whole spread here, the only one that I would take to a redemption would probably be the Green Arrow one. Yeah, that's the only one I would take to a redemption stream. Reese says, I have a realm for Minecraft. I have a bunch of people listed to play in the realm. I need to get my son on Brian's realm. I don't know how to connect. I'm so stupid. I don't know how to connect the... no Sandman love. I see how it is. It's just Ray goes and like jabs and says a comment. I have a in my mind. You just like run into the room and say that, and then you just scuttle out. I couldn't figure out how to connect the Switch to his realm. I felt so stupid and so old. And I was like, how do I not know how to do that? I went through the tutorial step by step by step, and I'm like, I cannot get this device to connect to this. I feel like an idiot. Eyebrow Express says, Zoe, there was meant to be a hello attached to that. What? The internet isn't great right now, but this looks lovely. Thank you. I like it as the style. Not looking at accuracy. That's fair. I appreciate that. All right, what do I... Let's do something that's not a character. What's not a character from DC Comics? From the DC universe. Maybe some Kryptonite? Kryptonite. Or a Green Lantern ring, maybe? What's an odd? Oh, we need something. Bobo Levo says, now we see if Kevin draws something else or tries to just talk through the rest. I was going to try to talk through the rest, but that's 20 minutes of talking. That's a little much. I'll draw some Kryptonite. I'm surprised you haven't done a lantern ring yet. I'll do both of them, how about? I think we have enough time to do both. Oh, the Hall of Doom coming out of the swamp. Right? It's like the big like helmet coming out of the swamp. And it's always coming out of the swamp. Always. And it has like the the water dripping off of it and like the seaweed and stuff. Ooh, a batarang. What can I redeem to get you to say sorry again? I thought that's like, I was reading it and I know you've talked about this a lot, about the whole cats using goo. Like, I know this is a thing that you have discussed in length. And so I'm like, sorry, it's S-O-E-E-Y. That can't be like what you're trying to say. Are you trying to do that bit where you're like, sorry? Like, I'm like, in my mind, I'm like trying to piece together that typo. That was clearly just an innocent typo. It's like, why did you say that? Yeah, always rising. Always rising from the, every time you see it, it's in the process of rising out of the swamp. Always. Sorry. Why? That's weird. How's Hugo doing today? I saw, I think, a post on Twitter. Was it Twitter? We were talking about a rough time this year. Was that? Did I imagine that? Did I fabricate that conversation? Not really a conversation. A post? No, it was a very fast typo. But sorry coming out of your mouth is very funny. You know, here for the entertainment. You know what I remembered today that I absolutely hate drawing? Backgrounds. Everything just screeches to a halt when I have to draw a background. It really does. Like, I will blitz through a dozen characters in a day, and then I get to a background and it's like screeches to a halt. It's miserable. Miserable. Can't do it. Can't do it. I mean, I can do it. I just hate it. Absolutely despise it. I think what makes me the angriest is how long it takes. Like, the output between character illustration and environment / background is substantially different. And that really aggravates me in terms of like time management and like planning out the day and strategy. It's like, why did this take me 10 hours? Why? No, it's been a rough time, but I'll be okay. Overall, completely neutral year in terms of good and bad. Okay. Well, that's what I want to hear. Jay Freaks is the same. I hate drawing backgrounds. I do like when I can use my 3D models as the background, though. It makes it slightly... Yeah. And I mean, I'm all about that, too. I'm about that life. If I can, like, you know, find a helpful reference to, like, you know, trace over for, like, a vehicle or something, I am 100% on board. It's like, I don't need to be a hero, okay? I don't need to be an expert car draftsman. Like, find me a good image of this car in the background and I will trace it. Like, done. And that's what they do. They do that in the industry. All the time. I've seen, you know, straight up Marvel, DC, professional industry artists. And, you know, they do some awesome stuff. They have great style. And then when it's like, oh, I need to draw a car, they'll post the time lapses of them just literally tracing over a Google image of a car. And it's like, yeah, of course. You don't need to be a hero. Nah. Why? What purpose? We gotta have some green glow, right? I only like backgrounds when a character is interacting with stuff in it. That's fair. Jay Freak says, yeah, if you have to have high output, you're gonna use what makes it. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. No shame in the game, okay? See, it's like, it kind of sounds like a Christmas song, and then it trails off, and it's like, oh. This is my royalty-free holiday playlist. Green Lantern ring. Two green objects next to each other. Seems like a faux pas. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. I do appreciate it. You guys are all right. As always, I hope you enjoy the artwork, the conversation, all the things. I gotta figure out if I want. So now that like a
Well, art is not all fun and games.
Yes.
It's a lot of hard work.
It is. Now that we've had like a whole year. We've had a whole year with the Doodle stream being exclusive to Twitch, an entire year. Just about. And hey, thanks for the bits, Reed. We'll be leaving soon to get ready for FNB Friday Night Bricks episode 240. I always appreciate you stopping by, man. Hope it's a good stream. I might. No, there's no way I'm going to be able to. Never mind. I still have to do some event prep. I got to do event prep for tomorrow morning. I was going to say I might listen, but no. No time today, I'm afraid. Busy end of the year. But hope you have a good stream. Thanks for stopping by, as always. Always a pleasure, says the Eyebrow Express. Always. That's awesome. That warms my heart. Every time I go to a comic book shop, which is not often, but like a Newberry Comics or a little, mom and pop, they always have the jar of like Green Lantern rings next to the register. And I always put one on. Always. And it's like, and then I put it back in the jar. I don't know what it is about it. It's just like, yep. That's cool. Let's see. Might be a little tough to see it. I just didn't want it to do it like, I mean, I guess that maybe it eliminates the whole point if you can't see the symbol, but I just didn't want to do it like too obviously or too boring. I didn't want it to be too boring. Like just look straight down at the symbol. But maybe I did myself a misservice. There it is. Yeah, it's DC. You know what it is. All right. Reed says, I look forward to the great Hinkle lurking if possible. probably will have music playing, if not many people. No heavy breathing. Yes, no heavy breathing. No dead air. Ray says, I miss comic shops. You'd make a good Green Lantern. Who would? Mr. Steal Your Kills. Ooh, man bad indeed. Hi. Thanks for popping out of the alert. First time chatter. How you doing? Today we were drawing DC stuff. We're at the end. I don't think I'm gonna start another one. There's only like 8 minutes. But today was DC. DC characters, DC universe things. What's up? How's it going? It's going alright. It's going alright. Going okay. So here, we'll do we want to do the tour? It's a little early. It's a little early. You run on pure will. That's true. Okay, you're right, Ray. I do. Yes. That's fair. That is fair. Is there anything I can show you guys? Oh, did you guys see the finished cookie, the Christmas cookie mug design? I worked on this on the Tuesday stream. So I did a polished sketch version of this. And then I cleaned it up after the stream, and I threw this up on the Redbubble shop and TeePublic. I haven't really pushed the TeePublic shop yet because I need to do more work over there. But if you want, there's the Redbubble link. You can get this on all kinds of things. I think it came out pretty good. Nice, thank you. Yes, it was so cute. Thank you, appreciate it. So that got finished. Hawkeye says, the president, Washington, D.C. What other art things? What other art things? Ooh, I'm tired. So next Friday, Bobo Laveau says, yes, cute and appropriate. Very appropriate, Bobo Laveau. Maximum appropriate. Nothing inappropriate about that. Nothing inappropriate about that. I love the mug. Thank you. Yeah, that one came out pretty good. I wasn't anticipating doing anything like that, like for the holiday, because I just don't have enough time. But yeah, that one came together really quick. Batarang. What is the Batarang? I like the Batarang from The Dark Knight because it's like a real one. Like it could actually work. Right? Or am I wrong? Maybe I'm wrong about that. I remember watching a thing where it's one of those shows that they like debunk or prove stuff like this, that it can work or not in real life. Maybe I just dreamed it all. But I remember they were proving that a Batarang would work, but I don't remember which version. I thought it was this version. But there's like a lot of silly ones that would not ever work. Battle Mop. Battle Bucket. Easy there, Slugger. You're making up stuff. You're talking crazy talk. You're crazy. I'm trying to remember what that show was. There is a show. I used to love it, and it was like, maybe it was a YouTube show. You ever watch that show on YouTube where Blacksmith makes yeah, maybe that was it. Like, maybe that was it. It was great. and they were making real life pop culture video game stuff weapons and then like using it. No, but I feel like what I saw had like it had that, but it also had like they were diving into like the science behind it too, and I don't think that one does that. That one's more just like blacksmithing the object, and then that's which is cool, but like not diving into like how it works and the properties behind its how deadly it could be, stuff like that. You know, like how much damage could it do to a person if you use this. Oh, too close. Hey guys, it's my birthday this month. Did you know that? I'm a Christmas baby. I used to watch them, Funny Figs. Well, if nobody has done it, sounds like you got your next gig all set. What are you talking about? If nobody's done it, you got your next gig set up. What? What? Well, happy birthday. Well, thanks, Ray. Not yet. Not yet. But almost. Not really almost. We gotta wait till like near the end of the month. We gotta wait till Christmas. When you guys are celebrating Christmas, I want you to know that I am having a birthday. Almost simultaneously. Almost. It's as close as you can get without being on the day. It was a wonderful childhood. You're gonna make the videos about how batarangs are. No, definitely not gonna do that. Definitely not gonna do that. It's like I spend all these years grinding myself into a fine powder to make this work, and it's like, you know what I'm gonna do? Take a hard left turn and do something completely different. You know what I'm gonna do? Something different. Play me out, Johnny. So I gotta drive down to the coast. But yeah, if you didn't hear me talking about the PTO fair, that was wildly successful. I talked about that on the Tuesday stream. So every Tuesday I do a studio hour stream in the afternoon, not in the evening like this. And I talk about whatever. I talk about event recaps. We work on, sometimes I work on like commissions and things, just kind of whatever. It's a very chill time. It is not supposed to be like super high energy. Not that this is very high energy, but you know, it's supposed to be a little bit more higher energy because you get to see your thing drawn and there's redeems and all kinds of funny stuff. But yeah, I talked about the PTO fair and that was wildly successful, but very, very, very intense and not for everybody. Not for just any crafter or vendor that wants to give it a shot. Absolutely not. I was afraid of that. There's definitely a little bit of green glow that is I was trying to keep it somewhat contained. So that it wouldn't like look obvious when I moved it. But I failed. okay. We'll fix it. You have to wish him a happy birthday in 2 weeks. It'll be on that weekend. I mean, that'd be nice. Usually people do. I don't like get all up about it, you know. But usually, at least people that are quote unquote friends with me on Facebook do. Like, hey, I haven't spoken to you in a year. Happy birthday. Like, thanks. I laugh. Like, I have not spoken to you. There are people in there that I have literally not spoken a word to every year, year after year after year after year. But they do it they wish me happy birthday every year. And like, I don't talk to you ever. Ever. I don't say 2 words to you throughout the course of the year, but you wish me happy birthday every year. All right, we are officially done, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm going to take you on a tour. Today was all about DC, the DC universe, to follow up on our Marvel stream from 2 weeks ago. And again, these are all your prompts, your for the most part, not Two-Face. Your prompts, your ideas, your suggestions from the chat. So thank you for participating and being here with me. We have got the Black Manta. We've got Power Girl. Two-Face from Batman the Animated Series. That was my warm-up. Oh, hey, we're still friends. Here's your annual greet. Did we even talk about the fact that they canceled Wonder Woman? We did not talk about that. Harley Quinn. Green Arrow. Sinestro. Kryptonite. I like that Superman and Batman are not here, but there's objects from that represent them. I think that's kind of cool. Batarang. Man-Bat.
It's probably the best drawing I've ever done.
Yeah. Funny Fixes, you need $1. Give me a hot take redeem like Eyebrow has. Here's the Green Lantern ring. Just gonna move on. And then we have Slade from Teen Titans. I wouldn't have very entertaining hot takes, Ray. The only hot takes that I would have that would actually be really great, awesome, entertaining hot takes are for a hobby and community that I'm not part of anymore. So that doesn't do anything to help me continue to not be part of it. Even Wonder Woman with her jet. I did, yep. Wonder Woman with her invisible jet right here. I had to scale it down, of course, to make it fit into the scene. So that's it. A pretty good, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Pretty good. Thank you guys so much, as always, for being here. All the conversation, the subs, the bits, all that stuff is greatly appreciated. Thank you very much. Should we raid somebody? Should we raid someone? Okay, let's find someone new. We haven't raided a new person in a while. Not that there's anything wrong with raiding our friends and people that we know, but we haven't raided a brand new person in quite a while. So let me find someone, and then also let me pop in and listen for us. Just a minute, just like 20 seconds, okay? Relax. We don't need to pull an Arctic Arts, okay? We can't always be pulling an Arctic Arts. There's a lot of folks streaming in the art category that are Spanish speakers. Oh, wow. Look at this. Oh, no mic? Oh. It's like, oh. Where will we go? Only Kevin knows. Of course, don't forget to save that one as a separate... What should I save as a separate doodle? There's nothing here that I would save as a separate one. Let us find a new hot or not street. Yeah, exactly. I saw this person's doing some really cool Pokemon art. Like, it's really cool, but they don't have a microphone. I mean, okay, let's just go raid anyway. They don't have a microphone, so don't expect to hear them speaking. But they're doing really awesome looking Pokemon artwork. Like, legit, it looks really, really nice. So this is Mika Inc. Okay? Mika Inc. Chill art stream, still on the journey of drawing Pokemon. No mic. So we're gonna raid. If you can stick around for just a minute and say hi, drop a follow. Follows cost you nothing. Okay? But it means a lot to the artists. I promise you it does. So we're gonna raid over there. There's only one person watching. Thank you all. Have a wonderful rest of your night. And I will see you guys on Tuesday. All right, let's go say hi.